Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So I'm not going to take too much of y'all time this week because it's Christmas. Y'all are probably out there trying to get last minute gifts and everything. So I'm going to just go ahead and get through with this. But given that it is the Christmas spirit, I think that would be a perfect thing for this week's episode. A lot of cheap people, such as myself, we tend to think that Christmas really comes after the 25th. And in this case with the Texans, Christmas is going to come way after the 25th this year. Probably going to come in September, and that's because that's going to be our real gift for this season. As I've said time and time again, a lot of the season has just been tore up by a whole bunch of factors. One of the main ones has been injuries. I mean, you think about it. We lost Watt, Merciless, everybody. And really the thing about these injuries, they took away a lot of what ifs from our season. Um, one of the biggest what ifs that we've had, especially over the last couple of years, was what if we had a Jadeveon Clowney and a JJ Watt on the same side of the ball? And really hasn't been able to work out that way. Clowney, his first couple seasons, he was always hurt or whatnot. Watt, pretty much had to carry the load those first few times. But even in the last couple seasons for Watt, he's been missing a whole bunch of time. So it's been Clowney out there, on his own. And Clowney's been holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for that. But at the beginning of this year, we finally got to see both of them together, but it really wasn't that, exciting. I think JJ only had like 5 tackles and no sacks at all. So very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. We thought it was going to be Avengers, and it turned out to be Justice League. So that was what that was. Same thing with just having like other players such as Merciless being out. A guy that was very vital to providing us with a pass rush in addition to White and Clowney. Brian Cushing, he was injured after the first game of the season. He was only supposed to be out for maybe 5 or 6 games, I think. But I mean, he still had to serve a 10-game suspension for using PEDs, and we just got him back about a couple of weeks ago for the San Francisco game. So that did not play out in our favor at all. Like I said, injuries just all around, even with Watson, and that's something that I'm probably always going to drive into the ground just because of, what I think of him. And not just what I think of him, what a lot of the veterans around the league thought of him, just a highly skilled rookie quarterback and somebody that definitely pushed our offense to to heights and production that we have not seen while Bill O'Brien was here. So it was injuries, needless to say, is something that definitely hurt us. But even with that, also, what was I going to say? Quarterback play, of course, offensive line. But even with all those problems, it's time to look forward to next season, to look forward to the gifts we have awaiting us. So, in addition, well, despite all the, turmoil and injuries that we had, we get to open the season up back with hopefully all these guys on the team, especially with Watson. Watson, saying he'll be ready, he'll be healthy by next year. All we can do is just hope, and so far it seems like everything just going smooth. There hasn't been any real reports on any setbacks or anything. So, so definitely, hopefully, he will be ready as promised. The great thing about that as well is we have DeAndre Hopkins under contract. So he signed his deal right during the preseason, I believe, or off season, whatever. We signed it before the season, so we have him under contract under a new deal. And he's having a great season as well right now. who else? We have Will Fuller. Definitely, hopefully he'll help. Hopefully he'll start off on a healthy note at the beginning of next year. This year, I believe he missed like maybe first 5 or 6 games, and he came back and he was just blowing up. He had like 8 catches, 8 touchdowns, 11 catches, or something like that. And so it was just a good, promising start. And so, I mean, excuse me. So yeah, he'll be back by next season. We'll just see how that goes. Another thing, our running game, Lamar Miller, he'll be coming back. I saw that Alfred Blue's contract is going to be expiring, so I'm not sure if the team will keep him or not. It would be a nice thing to like keep him in, have him as like a change of pace back or whatever. But if they don't, then it is what it is. We still have Deontay Foreman, who I just remembered he was injured as well, but he'll be coming back. So, definitely there's a lot of gifts, and in addition to the players coming back, our schedule is going to be a little bit easier. We finish and we'll get like a third place schedule, so we're going to face all the teams that's in the third place in the conference or whatever. So that'll boost our record up a little bit. And I mean, like, what can I say? This is a team that's been through a lot on the field, and of course, off the field as well. But they fought through it, and you know, they they fought through it, and it didn't work out like the way we wanted it to, obviously. But I mean, that's all you can ask for a team to do. Just kind of get through the season. Well, they don't have no choice but to get through the season, but um, they went out there and they gave it their all, and it just wasn't enough, and it was just not enough for them to just overcome everything else that's been going on. So lesson learned. I keep hearing these things about Bill O'Brien might be fired or whatever, and I'm like, nah, I don't think the Texans are gonna go that route. Unless he leaves, I don't see him being in another spot other than on the Texan sideline. So definitely that's another gift we're going to be ready to open on the next season. So, but yeah, as far as this week with the game against the Steelers, man. I mean, listen, man. Usually I'm in here, game planning it up. And there's not really, I mean, with the Steelers this week, there's not really a lot that can be done against this team. I think they're still in the fight for the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So they're still going to be a little bit competitive. I will say, yeah. So Antonio Brown, Antonio Brown will not be in this game actually. So it's going to be a little bit easier on our defense, especially our secondary and corners. Lately, I have not been a fan of Kevin Johnson at all. I don't know what it is. I know he was hurt, for a couple of he was hurt for like a couple of games or so, and then he came back. Oh, shit, when he came back, he wasn't, he wasn't doing too well. So he's having his flashes, but there's also plays where it's like, okay, bro, you need to chill. So um, definitely, whatever. How can I say this? Don't put him in. you know, uh, but if you do, just kind of. I don't know if it's like the game plan that he's trying to adjust to or whatever. Because I mean, yeah, this is Mike Vrabel's first year as a defensive coordinator, so maybe he's not really grasping the defense or something. So definitely, just if that's the case, I would say just kind of let him play loose on the receivers. I mean, just kind of let him do what he feels. Just do what he feels is like a gut feeling to do, because right now he's just not playing good football right now as far as like covering receivers and everything. Last week he made a couple of good tackles or whatever, but I mean other than that, there's nothing that I could really write home about for Kevin Johnson. So hopefully he'll get it together. As for everybody else, man, Steelers defense, they've been eh, a little sloppy, giving up quite a few points in these last couple games. So um, I don't know how they're going to do against our offense, but definitely go ahead and let's just take our shots against them, see what we can come up against. They haven't been they have not been shut down defense in these last few games as well. So definitely, yeah, let's go after them, attack them, get aggressive with them, and just see what we can get out of it. I realize that us beating the Steelers probably isn't going to affect anything that we have going on. Texans season is done. Steelers, their season isn't done really, and technically neither is their regular season if they're still trying to get home field advantage. So I would say definitely that's the main thing about the Steelers game, just in not just offense and also on defense. Just go at them. Just be aggressive. We have nothing to lose. At all. There's nothing to lose. Everything's already lost. So attack them on both sides of the ball. Defense, get after the quarterback. Big Ben is sackable. Uh, and since they won't have Brown this weekend, it's probably going to take them a little bit longer to find an open receiver. So I would say just go after him. Watch out for Le'Veon Bell because without Brown, they're probably going to go to Bell a little bit more and try to get rev up some offensive yards. So they're probably going to do a little bit more running, which we're going to have to take away. And also, they're probably going to put him as a receiver as well. So just kind of watch out for that. And, let's just try to pick up a W on Christmas Day, man, and just bring a smile to these fans' faces. So, anyway, with that being said, I'm Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla.